Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians and guests. We're so delighted to have everybody here today. We are the Rotary Club of Gainesville, and today is February 22nd. So guests and visiting Rotarians, if you're joining us on Zoom, please identify yourself in the chat. And if you're watching on YouTube, please register your participation by sending an email to info@rotarygainesville.org. Pete and Wall.
Ran into Ben Kempen at the fitness center. But I also found out that maybe I'm getting old because I learned that they discontinued my blood type. We're gonna sing. It's a week late. It's a week late, but we usually sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game before the season starts, but the season's already started. As you know, the Lady Gators are 10-0. Go Lady Gators. So we're going to sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I never come back. Root for the home team. And if they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Very good. All right. Join me in pledge. Oh, you'll be happy to know that God has granted our wish. And Eric is here to say the prayer after we pledge allegiance. I thought I might have to do it, and I asked him forgiveness, and he said Eric's going to be here. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good job, Pete. As I say, saved by the bell. Eric Spivey, if you please.
Join me in prayer, please. Lord of creation, today we come as Rotarians as we prepare for our Wild Game Feast and all the opportunities of fellowship, community building, and philanthropy that it provides. We pray for the logistics of the event. May our feast master and team have enough volunteers, supplies of food and drink, and energy to secure a wonderful and great event. May we continue to experience the generosity of our community who continue to give and help us to raise money for these needed projects around Alachua County. And oh Lord, may you continue to strengthen our partnering agencies, those that will receive the money that we raise, so they will continue to be a transformative presence in our community from now until many years in the future. Now may everything we think, say, and do be for your benefit and for all benefit to our community. In your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you very much, Eric. At this time, unless you're a guest or a visiting Rotarian, you may be seated. Speakers will introduce you in a few minutes. Okay. So Jason Shank is going to come around with the mic and introduce our guests.
I'm in the back.
Okay. Okay, Jason, you're on.
Critter Creek.
Hello, Rotarians. I'm Richard Allen, and my guest today is Stephanie Lobo. She's the development director at the Critter Creek Farm Animal Sanctuary. Thank you.
Welcome. Glad to have you with us.
Wilbur, did you have a guess? Good afternoon, Rotarians. Dalton Baker here. I'd like to introduce my guest, Mike Chalfin with Gainesville Kitchen and Cabinets. Kitchen and Bath. Thank you.
Welcome, Mike.
Wilbur Holloway. I have a guest, raffle tickets, and my trusty scanner. If you guys haven't got your raffle tickets, got to get them soon because the feast is coming up. And if you don't buy them today, Jim Craig is coming out of retirement. He's going to hunt you down.
Oh boy. Thanks for the warning.
Hi, fellow Rotarians, Rennie Henderson, and I'm pleased to introduce my guest today is Stephanie Anson of Anson Properties. I'm gonna let her tell you a little bit about that, but I will say that she is a Rotarian or has been a Rotarian from Lake Mary, and she is looking at Rotaries here in Gainesville.
Thank you. Very nice to be here. Just a little bit about myself. I wasn't expecting to do that. Oh, okay. But I have been in the Gainesville area since 2012, and I'm the broker owner of my company, and I'm very happy to be here.
Well, welcome, Stephanie. We're happy to have you.
Again from Iowa, as one fellow said when we came in, he said, I thought we got rid of you somehow. We can't get rid of you. Bob Crane here, my wife Connie. I call her Sweet Pea. She calls me lots of things, but anyway, that's good enough.
We're glad to have you both back with us this week. All right, Jason, while you're up here, do you want to go into the wild game feast for us?
All right. Well, we are right on top of the wild game feast. So as you know, next Thursday is looking good. We have just a beautiful site. Thank you for everybody that came out last Saturday and helped clean up. All three of our recipients are very active with helping and with signups for jobs during the event. So I wanted to get that out there real quick. Thank you, everybody on Zoom, all of our sponsors who really make this event happen, from the financial side, from meeting our obligations and what we've committed to the recipients and our give back right here in the community. So thank you, thank you, thank you to all of our sponsors. If you have not purchased your tickets, back in the back, Jay is selling tickets. Wilbur's selling raffle tickets. So we're looking forward to a great event. On Wednesday next week, let me back up, I apologize. Saturday, we have another cleanup going into the event. It's a big cleanup day. This is kind of a final prep, getting ready for everything. Then leading after Saturday, we are going to have a smaller group meeting out Wednesday. You're welcome to come. We're going to be cutting meat, prepping, getting everything ready for the day prior. And then the day of the event, that's probably one of our biggest opportunities for Rotarians to come out and help. And I don't mean arrive at 5:30. If you can schedule some time off, we'll all be out there in the morning. We'll have somebody at the front gate. So we do remind everybody that if you're coming out early, make sure you have your ticket, because you do need your ticket to get in. But we'll gladly put you to work during the day. We have lunch that Thursday during the event, so you won't go into the event starving. So we'll have some lunch and some beverages out there going into the event. And then it really kicks off at 4. So again, back to our sponsors. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Our fellowship pavilion starts an hour early for our sponsors. So if you did sponsorship and you have your fellowship pass, you can get in at 4 o'clock. We do some hors d'oeuvres early. You can park up front. So the earlier for that event at 4 o'clock, the better. So really looking forward to a great time and hope to see you guys out there. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jason. Ben Campen, you have some tickets you want to help us auction, raise some money today.
I want to say the applause was overwhelming. I appreciate it. $100. Okay, that's a good start. I've got 2 tickets to the Center of Performing Arts next Tuesday night. I'm gonna be out of town, won't be able to go, but it's the Globalist. 2 tickets here. I want to auction off and donate it to the club. What we're gonna do? Safari, reading safari, or what? Okay, we're gonna donate the money to reading safari. Anybody want to start out their $45 tickets? $100. Okay, he'll give 120. 120. Anybody give 120? You bought them. Thank you, Bill. That was quite an auction too, wasn't it?
Ben, was that your quickest auction ever? Yeah. That's awesome. Thank you. We really appreciate it. Let's give Ben a round of applause. That was very generous. right, at this time, we are going to go ahead and turn our program over to President David Gracie.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm glad that everyone in the room found our new temporary location again today. And what do you guys think? I think we can handle it over here for a month and a half or so. This isn't bad. A couple of things. Wilbur Holloway mentioned to me before we started the meeting, just to keep his father Sam in our thoughts and prayers. Sam had just kind of a little medical situation yesterday. I believe he's in the hospital for a little while. So just keep Sam and his wife Connie in your thoughts and prayers, please. Another Rotarian who kind of grabbed my arm before we started the meeting today was Mike Conroy, sitting back there. Mike heads up our youth speakers committee, and that's something we do every year in about isn't it kind of April, May? Mike, is when we have that program? Okay, great. So the preliminary is right upon us, and we need some contestants. I know you guys remember this is something it's really a fun meeting when we have these youngsters come up and talk about the Rotary theme and with their prepared speech. So if you have a son, daughter, grandson, granddaughter, nephew, niece, etc., who would like to participate, please see Mike. Please, yeah, he's looking for folks. I also wanted to mention, I don't know how many folks still get the newspaper. I have a feeling I'm one of these few, but I certainly do. I love my newspaper, and Melanie gets her newspaper, I know, even though we're, very electronic news. But Eric Godet has been contributing to the Gainesville Sun for a couple of months. And I saw an article in there 2 or 3 months ago, and I sent him a text on Sunday. It was about Chief Jones and the police department. And I thought that was really cool that he was contributing back there. But it turns out Eric is actually kind of a guest columnist. He's becoming a prolific writer. Eric does a lot of stuff, but he's also a Sunday contributor to the Gainesville Sun. This is in that back section back there. And again, I love reading the paper on Sunday. So look for Eric back there. Finally, one more Rotarian I wanted to mention and just give carefully a shout out to, because she is the type of person that doesn't like a lot of attention, but this is just such a neat thing. I wanted to share it, and it's very timely with the Wild Game Feast coming up a week from Thursday. But Nancy Hart had called me a couple of months ago, and many of you may know that Nancy, something she likes to do for fun, she hosts fox hunts on some property in Levy County. And this is something she loves to do. There's a lot of tradition with fox hunting, many of you may know. But some of the property was damaged by Duke Power, and they were a little bit slow to finally get the property repaired properly. And once they finally did, they said, well, are we okay? Yes, this is good. Well, now that we've repaired it, we want to somehow make amends to you, and we want to have access to the property. And Nancy said, well, why don't you ask my neighbor to the north and access it, through them? And they said, well, we'd rather give the money to charity than do that. And she said, well, how about you write a check for $10,000 to the Rotary Club of Gainesville Foundation? So she pulled in a nice one. Thank you, Nancy. Yeah, sorry. So she actually called me, Nancy did, on Friday afternoon to share that little kind of story that I thought was such a long shot. The only person I even mentioned this to when Nancy had first called me 2 or 3 months ago was Jay. And I just kind of said, Jay, this is just something that would be so cool if it happened, but we'll see. And so Nancy calls me Friday afternoon, and I had one more person that I needed to see Friday afternoon, and it happened to be Jason Shank. I said, so I've got the perfect person. He'll tell you exactly how we need to make this happen. And so Jason and I three-way called Nancy, and we kind of had we weren't really having a beer yet. I think Nancy had gotten into happy hour. We had not quite yet, but we had a nice three-way call there. It was really cool. So just I'm just excited about the feast, and we've done such a phenomenal job fundraising this year. Jason, Matthew, Wesley, Jay, everyone that's been so involved in that. I mean, we have really just we're at a new level. So now it's the implementation time, and let's make this feast great and safe. And that's where we need everyone's help to participate as workers. The work day coming up Saturday and the day of the event, you've heard all this from Jason. So just let's follow through and make this a wonderful event. And without further ado, I'm going to ask my friend Eric Godet to come up and introduce today's wonderful speaker, a former recipient of Wild Game Feast funds.
Thank you, President David. Guys, if we were at the old building, and when you leave, you may be able to see the wonderful bus out there, right? For the Give Kids a Smile and Saving Smiles. Someday I'll get it right. You know, hey, I just better stick to my script so I don't mess up. But I do want to introduce two individuals to you today, Tina Treelor, and we also have Olga Lucas. And Olga is our speaker today. So if I just looked at my script, I would have got the name right, Saving Smiles Program. This is our local community dental outreach that we have in Alachua County. And like President David said, they were one of our recipients from last year. And Olga and I were just sharing on how we were having that wonderful time at the Wild Game Feast. And then like right after that, everything shut down with the pandemic. And so just to give you a little bit about Olga, she is a general dentist and a clinical assistant professor with the University of Florida College of Dentistry. This Department of Community Dentistry and Behavioral Science, Dr. Olga is also a Florida native, a triple Gator, graduating from the University of Florida with her BS in nutrition in 2011, her DMD degree in 2015, and a Master's of Public Health degree in 2018. Dr. Olga has a strong passion for dental public health, interprofessional education, and oral health promotion and disease prevention in vulnerable population. She currently oversees the department, school, and community-based dental outreach programs in Alachua County, which provide dental services for pediatric patients at high risk for tooth decay. Dr. Olga is also the principal investigator of the Naples Children and Education Foundation Oral Health Project, where she oversees dental community outreach programs in Collier County also. Focused also on preventative and minimally invasive oral health care for children. Now, I do want to share a little bit of personal stuff also about Olga as we go on. Dr. Olga is the course director or the UFCD Foundations of Professionalism course, where she introduces the students to the concepts of professionalism and ethics as they relate to dentistry. As a part of this course, she addresses the responsibility of dentists to improve patient welfare and improve overall healthcare access for all based on the ethical principles of beneficence and justice. She invites dentists from diverse backgrounds to speak to students in her course on the topics of ethical decision-making and career options in dentistry. Most recently, she was selected the 2021-22 Teacher of the Year through votes from the University of Florida dental students. Dr. Olga is a Cuban-American woman born and raised in Miami, Florida. As an undergraduate student, she participated in a University of Florida College of Dentistry summer enrichment program meant to expose students from minority or disadvantaged backgrounds to the field of dentistry. It was during this time when Dr. Olga discovered her passion for the profession, and she continues to volunteer for similar initiatives to inspire the next generation of oral health care providers. Please give a warm Rotary welcome to Dr. Olga.
Thank you all so much for having me. It's such a pleasure to get to meet you and speak with you all today. And as your president mentioned, we are so grateful to have been the recipients of the 2020 Wild Game Feast funds. That has made such an impact on the programs that we offer. in the area of community dentistry, which are much needed in the children in our county and our community. So I'm so excited to share that with you today. Can we pull the presentation up? All right, very good. So today I want to talk with you all about the community outreach programs that we host as part of the Department of Community Dentistry at University of Florida, and specifically focus in on the Saving Smiles program, our newest program. And this is our team. We have myself as the clinical dentist. We have our dental hygienist and Saving Smiles program coordinator, Tina Treelor, and another dental hygienist, Kelly Rollerson, that coordinates our school-based programs. And I know that Eric just shared a little bit about my history. One of the reasons that I got so into dentistry was from my experiences volunteering, in high school and undergrad. I was a summer camp counselor for the children of migrant farm workers. And I remember seeing them with a mouthful of tooth decay and nowhere to go, not having access to healthy foods, not being able to afford dental care. And as they grew older, seeing the impact that the tooth decay had on their self-esteem and their confidence. So, and I mean, I also had some personal experiences with braces and wearing the headgear and all that fun stuff, but I definitely see the impact that it has not only on one's self-esteem, but on your overall health. So it's something that's very near and dear to our hearts. So a little bit about the purpose of our programs. So the purpose is, it's very data driven to see what is the oral health status of our county's children. We do dental screenings in all public schools throughout the county every year. We also offer preventive and comprehensive dental services to children in either school-based or community-based programs, especially children at high risk for tooth decay. And also, we want to provide these amazing immersive service learning experiences for our dental students and our dental hygiene, dental assisting students at UF and Santa Fe College, so that they can see firsthand the oral health inequities in their own backyard, and let this be something that inspires them to pursue a career in dental public health. So these are some of the programs that we do throughout the year. Our first is the Head Start Dental Outreach Program. This is a program for kids as young as 1 to 2 years old to up to 5 years old. Head Start is a federally funded program for children that come from lower income families living with incomes about 100% or below the federal poverty level. And as part of this program, we provide the dental exams for these children as part of their enrollment. We get to do oral health counseling and nutrition education with the parents, because the younger that you can educate the families, the better, about healthy food and drink options, about toothbrushing habits, all that good stuff. And we also do fluoride varnish applications twice a year to prevent them from getting tooth decay. Every year, we go to every elementary school throughout Alachua County, and we do dental screenings on 3rd grade students. The purpose of these screenings is to see which schools, which areas in our county have the highest prevalence of tooth decay. Where are we needed most? And this is, gives a lot of great information, gives us a snapshot of the county's oral health needs. We screen about 2,000 kids every year in this program. These are the types of things that we're looking for. Do they have existing fillings? Do they have cavities? Do they have dental sealant, which is the white coating on top of the grooves of their teeth to prevent cavities? Do they have urgent dental needs, like you can see in the lower middle picture? Do they have a swelling that can become life-threatening if not addressed as soon as possible? This is the typical mouth of a child that we see in our 3rd grade programs. They they are just getting some of their permanent teeth in the front and the back, and those are typically without cavities because they've just erupted, but their baby molars, kind of towards the middle, usually have tooth decay. And our programs have traditionally been focused on preventing cavities, but what do we do if they already have cavities? In the past, we've referred them to other places, but when we would see the child the following year, more often than not, nothing has changed. This kind of shows a map of where tooth decay is more prevalent in our county. This is a powerful map to me because it really shows that your zip code, where you live, can have such a big impact on your health, not just, your physical health, the health of your body, but the health of your teeth and gums, which is all connected. So the darker shaded areas are the areas where children have higher prevalence of tooth decay. You can see from this map that tends to be more on the east side of the county, where there's more Title I schools, schools with a higher percentage of kids on free and reduced lunch. On that part of the map, we have Hawthorne, which doesn't have community water fluoridation. On that part of the map, we have less access to dentists or dentists that accept Medicaid dental insurance, for example, but have very long wait lists. And those lists have gotten even longer since the pandemic. One of our programs that we've had since about 2011 was our school-based dental sealant program. And this is a program, again, focusing on prevention, where we do things to help prevent cavities from happening. And that could be through dental sealants on their permanent molars, which are just erupting at about the age of 6. So this is the ideal time. And how this program works is we set up portable equipment in the schools, and this is a no-cost service to families. So it addresses those main barriers that families typically face when accessing dental care: cost, transportation. So this is a great program. We have our dental students and our Santa Fe dental hygiene and dental assisting students involved under my supervision or other faculty supervision. So it really helps to get them outside in the community and see what the needs are in their own backyard. I'll just talk about this very quickly. One cool treatment that we have been incorporating is a special type of fluoride called silver diamine fluoride. This is a special fluoride that is able to be applied onto existing cavities and actually kill the cavity causing bacteria and keep the cavity at bay until the kids are able to be seen at a dentist and receive treatment. So this is something that we were incorporating prior to the Saving Smiles program so that we could stop the cavity from growing until the kids were able to be seen at another dental provider. And it's very easy, non-invasive. The medicine is applied onto the cavity with a small brush, and it helps to keep the cavity arrested until they're able to get it filled. But as I mentioned, again, we would see these kids the following year, and more often than not, nothing had been done. The cavities were still there or had gotten larger. Maybe they developed an infection. So we were so grateful to be the recipient of the Wild Game Feast Funds in 2020. And from that, we have been able to start the Saving Smiles program. With this program, we are able to actually perform the treatment that these children need on the cavities they already have. So if they have a cavity, now we can do fillings. If the cavity has gotten too big, we can take the tooth out if that's what's needed. And this has been such a great experience. We are seeing kids as little as 1 year old to 17 years old. And at first we were thinking, where are we going to have this program? Schools are not really wanting so many visitors on their campuses during COVID. So this has also allowed us to make so many great connections with community partners who are equally focused on enhancing health equity for the populations that they serve. So from this, we have held our Saving Smiles program At, for instance, Gainesville Public Housing Properties on the east side of Gainesville, an organization called Partnership for Strong Families at their Library Partnership branch, which is on the northeast side of town. For the kids out in Hawthorne Baptist Church has allowed us to use their facility multiple times. And we just made a really awesome connection with an organization called Project Youth Build, which is an organization that works with adolescents, young adults that might not have been able to graduate high school. So it helps them to get their GED. And from this partnership, we're wanting to encourage them to pursue careers in the dental profession, which I think would be really great for them. So in this program, we really focus a lot on education. We have the parents present, so they're a captive audience. We focus on, again, nutrition, showing them the amount of sugar that is in so many of these drinks that their children might be drinking on a regular basis and they might not know. We also are able to perform restorative oral surgery procedures. And also, again, it's addressing those barriers, the cost, the transportation, the waiting list to get into all of these providers. Here's an example of some of the treatments that we do. One that we have incorporated is called a SMART treatment, which is kind of a protective filling that can be put on baby teeth to allow a cavity to be filled until it's ready to naturally exfoliate. And the reason or how that is done is we put that special silver fluoride at the base of the cavity, which kills all the cavity causing bacteria. And then we fill it with a filling material to prevent food and things from getting trapped back in there. And that's allowing kids to keep these baby teeth for another 2-3 more years until they fall out naturally. So it's a more positive experience. It doesn't require the needle, the anesthesia, or the drill. So kids and parents really like that. It helps to reduce any dental related anxiety, make it a more positive experience, and more importantly, allow them to keep their teeth until they're ready to naturally go. And then some of our equipment, we are able to take x-rays out in the field with our x-ray machine. We have amazing units where we can attach our electric hand pieces to them and do fillings. Our dental chairs that we set up, you know, we have our Gator orange and blue, and more importantly, the beautiful van, the Saving Smiles van. We drove it. It's parked by the Cade Museum, which has a lift in the back, which is so important for, you know, moving around all this heavy equipment. So some of the things that make our program unique are, again, focusing on preventing tooth decay. That's a lot more cost effective than treating it, and even treating it earlier is a lot more cost effective than if they have to wait a year or more for treatment. And also focusing on education, health literacy. A lot of people are under the impression that you don't need to go to the dentist unless there's pain. And when you wait until that point, things become more severe and out of control. So encouraging families to come for routine treatment and care. Again, we address those main barriers that so many families face. We try to make it a very positive experience by doing non-invasive procedures. And again, it's an excellent service learning opportunity for the next generation of oral healthcare providers. Our volunteers, we usually have a group of about 50 students from the Santa Fe dental programs and about 90 volunteers of dental students from the UF College of Dentistry. Here's some things that our graduates have said about our programs. Dental public health programs like these are able to bridge the gap for the underserved population while giving dental students an incredible learning and teaching experience. And also the experiences I had throughout these programs have been monumental in shaping me into the kind of dentist I hope to be one day. And our amazing partners, and we're always trying to make more connections so that we can have these programs in different community sites to be able to reach the families that need us most. This is us at Project Youth Build just about 2 weeks ago. which was such an awesome, organization, and we really love their mission and want to keep working with them. And future directions. Speaking of making connections, we're wanting to do more collaboration with medicine. It really frustrates me that dentistry and medicine have been kept separate for so long when it's all, part of the same body. So the UF Department of Family Medicine has this awesome community mobile outreach clinic bus. So we're working to coordinate having Saving Smiles program and the medical bus be at the same place at the same time so that we can offer services, dental and medical services for children and adults with the medical side. We're collaborating with dental specialists. There's inevitably going to be some kids that cannot, be seen in this type of community-based setting. So we've established those connections with the pediatric dental clinic at UF for those kids that might need a little more attention. And also we're making connections with persons in periodontics, in gum health, because some of the kids that we see can be at increased risk of gum disease, but if caught early, it can be totally reversed. And we're always trying to make connections to serve those, especially in the Gainesville Empowerment Zone, the 32609, 32641 zip codes, which is where these oral health and other health inequities are so unfortunately prevalent. So we have made excellent connections with the GNV for All, the new family learning center that will be opening this fall. We'll have a presence there. And also with GTech, which is in an ideal location right in between, Hawthorne and Gainesville to host our programs there. We'll be having one just next month. That's all I have. Thank you so much. Are there any questions? We'll get the microphone to you.
To donate to your bus and your program. Is that through the foundation or do you have a more direct link?
Yes, thank you so much for your question. It does have to be through the UF Foundation, but I'll give you my card and let you have, make that as easy for you as possible. So thank you so much. We always appreciate that. If financial, but also supplies. So we greatly appreciate that.
And working with families who are living at the margin, like the families, a lot of these kids, I've noticed adults have a lot of dental problems as well, and they just don't get any dental care. Does that play into what you're doing at all? And is there a way for those folks to get services?
Yes, that's a great question. We agree that adults certainly have a lot of oral health needs, and it's also difficult for them to access it. Right now, this program is specifically focused for pediatric patients, but we are working with making connections to try to expand that to adult populations. And if not through our services, through other dental providers. For instance, the Acorn Dental Clinic is now offering walk-in appointments on Mondays. So that is usually a place where I'll refer adults where they could receive treatment much more readily than perhaps having to wait months for an appointment. And that's also a great center because they accept Medicaid dental insurance and do the sliding fee scales. But I'm constantly, having conversations with persons in medicine, the health department. I'm involved with the health advisory committee for the county. So that's certainly something on our radar because I agree it is a big need. Thank you.
Thank you for the invaluable service that you provide these children. I might have missed it, but how do you address pediatric dental education by perhaps,
eyewitness testimony. If you don't take care of your teeth, then later on, you'll be financing your teeth repair. You know, it gets very costly, you know. What do you do to pass on that message?
Yes, that could be quite a challenge. I think the best way is through positive reinforcement and also having empathy for a person's life situation, what they're going through. It may be difficult, you know, certain things, but what is one thing that we can focus on today? Whether it be brushing one time a day before bedtime, or not getting that Gatorade, you know, and getting some water instead. So I think, you know, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I forgot who I'm speaking to. Go Gators. Yeah, I made up for it. Or not getting, you know, a soda, and instead getting, you know, some water or diluting a cup of juice, something like that. So we try to address it with small steps, having, you know, empathy and compassion for the situations that they may be personally experiencing. And that can at times be overwhelming. And also following up at next appointments. How's this going? What can we help you with? Connecting them with other resources that they may need that are not dental related. Thank you.
So it'll be the last.
There it is. Mike brought up the adult thing, but then there was the comment about the Gatorade. And last week we heard that Gatorade is responsible for $30 million coming into UF a year. Is there an effort on the part of the dental industry in general to get manufacturers of sugar snacks and drinks to contribute to programs like this?
That's a great question. I mean, I don't know too much, you know, on a personal level, but I do know that there are big corporations that do make these great financial contributions. So I think that is certainly excellent. But again, it's also, you know, important of how are they contributing to, you know, a person's health, the health of their teeth with the amount of sugar that these sorts of drinks have. So I think it's a balance. I never want to say don't ever have soda, because that's not, you know, realistic. I have ice cream and chocolate and those sorts of things. It's about moderation, and so passing those sorts of messages along. So but again, I think that these type of corporations have a responsibility as well to make those contributions to, you know, improve the health of other populations. So, thank you. Very good. Thank you so much again.
And Wilbur, a takeaway. Wilbur, a takeaway, brush your teeth more than once a day.
Thank you for that, Jason. Well, I'll just say that Dr. Olga, you know, I think a lot of us in this room were already somewhat familiar with Saving Smiles, and you know, it's a very careful, deliberate process when we choose a recipient for the Wild Game Feast Fund. So I think we're aware of the impact that you all have. So I just want to reiterate that and thank you for a very thorough presentation and updating us on all the good that you're doing for not only our young kids with preventive care, but also, you know, what you're doing with the UF Dental School and the folks doing kind of the CTE training that Eric wrote about in yesterday's or Sunday's Gainesville Sun. So that's just other ways that y'all are impacting the community, and we appreciate that. I have a piece of memorabilia for you to take with you, and it kind of gives encapsulates, if you will, what Rotary is, maybe to someone looking in from the outside. It's a coin, and on one side, it has our motto, which is service above self. That is our motto. That's the Rotary International motto. And on the other side, it has our 4-way test, which is something that something we consider in all the things we think, say, or do. It's just a 24-word saying that's kind of, well, it's been emblazoned on this coin that I'm going to give you. And it goes, we ask, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned? That's our 4-way test. And Dr. Olga, thank you so much again for your time and for the wonderful work you do for our community in dental care. Now, would you pull a ticket for me, please? And the Rotary Reading Safari drawing, which is $100 higher today. That $100 is going to the Reading Safari. It's not going to the winner. So the last 3 digits are 380. And thank you again, Ben Campen, for doing that for us. Have a good week, everybody. We'll see you next Tuesday.